Okay. So yesterday we stopped discussing regarding the two storages. I was asking to find the differences between the blob storage and the ADLS Gen 2 storage, right?
Right.
Did you guys remember this one? I was talking to find some differences. And have you got a chance to look at this? See, the basic difference between this blob storage is the older version of the ADLS Gen 2. This is nothing but the ADLS Gen 2. Data Lake is upgraded version of the blob storage. So what happens is in the blob storage, the data is designed in the unstructured data storage. The unstructured data storage means it can be in the XML format, it can be in the Parquet format, it can be in the Avro format. There are different file formats, okay? Just like the CSV file format, we have different types of file formats where if you see the data, you will not be able to understand the data structure, okay? So this is designed in such a way that it stores the unstructured data. And data lake is mainly for the big data analytics. You might be aware of this big data. Nowadays, everything is big data now, like because huge petabytes of data we are getting from the different source systems. So that's a need. The demand is coming to store the data in the big data only, right? So this ADLS Gen 2 is compatible towards the big data lake here, big data analytics. Okay, and the data types it stores is here. If you look at here in the blob storage, it's like unstructured and semi-structured, but it can store both structured and unstructured here. Okay, there is a difference here, unstructured and semi-structured here, but it can store structured data. Structured data, the example is while we are storing the data in the form of tabular, like SQL tables. Unstructured is like it may be in the JSON file or a CSV file. I'll show you the examples of the JSON file, CSV file, Parquet file, and Avro files. There are different file format systems which we commit from the source systems. And the file size supports like from the large size to several terabytes per blob. But coming to the data lake, right, it can store up extremely large files, several petabytes. Okay, and this cost is lower. The blob storage cost is lower, but data lakes cost is higher because due to its advanced features here. Means the storage cost for the ADLS Gen 2 will be higher. Why? Because we are providing the additional facilities, right? We have additional options here, advanced features in the data lake compared to the blob storage. And the integrated, the blob storage can integrate with any Azure services. This all it can integrate with any Azure services. Means that any other Azure services in the sense the other day, like yesterday, we are able to we created a normal storage. You remember, right? That can integrate with the Azure SQL also. Okay, that can integrate with the ADF also. Here, the advanced features for the data lake is it can be integrated with the big data analytics, machine learnings, but this cannot do it. Okay. So the blobs, so the security options also, it's in the encrypted at rest and in transit here. But in the data lake, it provides the additional features like data processing for analysis. Like this is for the big data analytics. Means the additional security features are enabled in the data lake. Okay. Here in the blob storage, you'll be having this HTTPS. You might be the HTTPS or HTTPS. Do you know this? Just like our websites, this is the API protocols. Let me just show you. See, what happens is if you log into the HTTPS, right? This, sorry. You're Prabhu there? Sorry, I think the line got disconnected here. Okay.
Yeah, no issues.
Okay. Just reconnected. So there are like HTTP and HTTPS connections here, if you look at here. For the data lake, like the ADLS, we have big data processing tools and the technologies here. Okay. And here, the use case is the blob storage can store like large files such as images, videos, and backups. But if you're talking about ADLS, it can store for the IoT. IoT is Internet of Things. Are you aware of this IoT things like Internet of Things? Say
Right.
suppose you have a small.
Sensors.
Sorry.
Is it sensors?
Yes, correct. Sensors. Just like
Right.
you have some remote sensors in the house, like Say we have some Google voice control messages. You have, right? So those things can be integrated, and also machine learning purpose also, this one. Okay. Just go through. This will be used while attending the interview. Okay. The differences between blob storage and the data lake storage. Okay. And next one, yesterday we were talking about this hot access tier, cold access tier. Are you aware of this? Like yesterday,
Yes.
we
Yes.
were
I'm
talking
creating.
this one. Yesterday I told like I'll discuss this topic later, and I'll just go to this one. So I'm just
Yes. Well.
just gone through the storage, and if I see here, the access default access tier is hot. Okay. See, this is the default access tier. And if I want to change it to the cool also, I can do it. You can able to see, right? What's the difference between hot and cool is, see, hot is means it will be in the hotline every time. Like the data will be actively, you can access the data. See, on online access style is storing the data that is modified frequently. Means if it is any, say, I will give you one example. Say the customer table is there in your database. That customer table should be in a hotline. Why? Because every day if you are in a bank, okay, you have a customer table in the bank. Somebody comes to update the email ID. Somebody comes to update the mobile number. Okay, somebody comes to update their address, right? Is it right? So this should be accessed each and every time, right? So that should be in a hot tier, and it is frequently accessed and modified. See the customer table in the bank that should be accessed frequently and modified, right? So what's the benefit of this hot tier is it costs you the highest storage cost but lowest access. Means for storing the data it costs you more. I'm talking about the billing part here. Okay, but accessing the data is low here, and it is available online every time. But coming to the cool tier, right? A cool tier is storing the data for infrequently accessed or modified data. Means the data which is not mandatory used, that is not modified or that is not accessed regularly, right? That comes under cool tier. That is the minimum time for this one stored is for 30 days. Okay. The cool tier has a low storage access and high access cost. See the difference here. Here we have low storage cost and higher cost. And if you look at here, it has high storage cost. See the difference here. You're getting right? Okay. And the cold tier is is the same like accessing the data, which is rarely accessed. Which the data is rarely accessed and it can be stored in this tier for 90 days. Okay. Here also low storage cost and higher access cost. Same like the cool one, the cold also. And archive is something like that. See, if you don't use your files, what you do, you just make it in the archive folder, right? So that you'll not use it frequently, and the storage also will be less. You will move it to your dump. Say you have a hard disk. What you do, what are all the files which are actively used, you will keep it in your laptop. And what are all the, like, say suppose like last 5 years photos which you have, you will be placing them in the archive folder, right? Means you will be storing in another location, right? Maybe in the hard disk or any external hard disk or in your cloud system like Google Cloud. The same way, the offline tier is optimal is storing the data that is rarely accessed and has a flexible latency requirement on the orders of hours. Means if you want to access the data, if you go to the Azure, they will take some time to get your data retrieve your data back. Okay. The data in this archive file should be stored minimum of 180 days. Means it's stored for 180 days. So the main difference is what you get is what is the difference between hot tier and cold tier in an interview question, in the interview point of. But there are 4 types of tiers here.
Okay.
Okay. I request
So,
you. Yeah, tell me this.
it is showing data should be stored for a minimum of 30 days, 90 days, the thing. So I didn't get this because whenever we don't access the data, but still we request for a longer time, right?
Yes.
I mean, for
See,
permanent.
data in the cool tier should be stored for 30 days. Means after 30 days, what happens is we have the data retention there. I've told you the data retention, right? 7 days. Yesterday, while creating the account,
Right.
we have a data retention 0 to
Mhm.
365 days, right? From there, it fits based
Yes.
on your storage. See, after this, what happens is this will not be there, but in the back end, the system will be there. There are like 7 days data retention is there, right? It will be enabled for 7 days. After 7 days, the data will not be available for us. So while the technical architects create the storage account, right? They will, based on the business requirements and understanding the client requirements, they will take the suggest the number of days in the data retention part there.
Right. Got it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another slide which I've took it from the internet. Same like say you can also use this slide here. Like you just to get it. Hot tire is used data frequently. Cold tire used data infrequently and stored for at least 30 days. And archive tire that is rarely used and stored at least 180 days. And you see that the storage cost also here. See the hot tire 0.018. The storage cost is less. Sorry, 18 and 0.01. And 0.99 archive. It's very, very less. See, after zero, how many three zeros are there? Okay. This is for the first 50 terabytes. See, the actually in the Azure, but the storage, they will charge you very, very minimum. Okay. I'm telling you now, very, very minimum. They will be charging only for computing. Means if you do any transformations or if you do any development, right? There only they will charge you. But minimum they will charge you for the storage. That storage, I can say it's very, very cheap here. See, for the 50 terabytes of data, what is 51 terabyte of data? How much is 1 terabyte of data? Just check it. See, if it is 1 terabyte of data, what is 1 terabyte?
1000 GB.
See, 1000 GB. So 1000 GB means how much it is showing here for us? So 50 TB means 5000 GB, right? Almost. Okay, so the storage cost is very, very minimum in the Azure. Okay, so what is my focus here is I just want to make sure that like maybe today or tomorrow when you get a chance, make a note of this one like blob storage and the data lake storage. This is nothing but ADLS Gen 2. This one and this one will be the interview questions. Okay, so that's the reason I'm just trying to focus more on this, stress on this.
Sure.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So now we'll go to the ADF now. Like so first we are in the home page. So yesterday I just want to recap you. So we covered we created a resource group. I'm just going through on a high level. We created a free trial account on a first. That's by default it comes. Once a free trial, we created a resource group. Under the resource group, we first created a storage account, normal blob storage account. This is the normal blob storage account which we created. And after that, we created a blob ADLS Gen 2. This is nothing but the generation 2, which what's the basic difference between these two?
I mean, it can store structured and semi-structured, whereas
Correct.
other thing will store structured and semi-structured. This will store structured and unstructured data, and it is supports big data, and that one will not support big data that much. It will
Correct.
support machine learning other tools, and it will not support machine learning and analytics.
That's absolutely right. And also, see, while we are creating also, we enabled one hierarchy namespace yesterday.
Yes, yes. That will, I mean,
That one will be in the
you
ADLS
will
Gen 2, right?
have hierarchy for
See, this is the ADLS Gen 2 one. If I go down here, I'll see somewhere here, hierarchical namespace. See, this is enabled here,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
So if you're looking, so I'll go to the other one. Let's wait. So this is the normal storage, right? See, this is disabled here. Okay.
Right.
So this will be also the interview part, interview questions. I'll give you the interview questions, but I'm just covering you so that on the topic, if I cover, so it will be remembered by you. rather than reading the interview questions. We'll discuss based on like what interview point and like the job perspective point only. Mainly like what are all the day-to-day activities which we work, right? So those that will be our main focus. Okay. So here, so this is the high level like the home page for us. And here on the other day, like yesterday, we just created this Azure Data Factory. So this is the one, right? So and yes, and also we gave some access control. Like if somebody new employee joins to the organization, we need to provide the access to this account, right, to this BI Cloud ADF, so that he can also start contributing towards the development, right? So we gave the access right yesterday. Remember, yesterday we gave the
Right.
access.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me see this. See, this is the one. We made him as a contributor. Azure.snowflakes. Okay.
Mhm.
This is the one. Okay. And now we are into the home page, and I'll just go to directly to the, if I click on this area, right, it will allow me to ask me to launch the studio. I'll just launch the studio. Anyways, I've launched it here, but I'll just close this tab. Okay. Okay. This is the home page for the Azure Data Factory, right? And this is the warning which is giving us. See, the yesterday we didn't set up any set up the code repository, right? We haven't set up the Git repository and the Azure DevOps. I told you I'll tell you later this one. So that's the reason it's showing you the warning. Hey, you are not set up the repository, code repository. Okay, it's not nothing to worry now as of now. Just leave it as it is. Okay, so this is how the home page looks like. So this is the home and this is the author. Author is in the sense where you need to do all your development activities here, where you will be creating the pipelines, this change data capture, data sets. I will explain you each and everything, like each and every object, what we're able to see here. So monitor is the one, see, once we've developed the pipelines, right? So we need to monitor the pipelines, what are all the pipelines which are running, right? So this is the pipeline runs, means like say, suppose we created 10 pipelines, we'll be able to see the 10 pipelines runs here. Triggers is nothing but the executions. How many triggers happened means the scheduling part here. Trigger runs. Trigger runs in the sense the scheduled runs. Okay. Change data capture is the one. See if any changes happen in the source system, right? Those changes will be reflecting here. This also we'll discuss. And this is one of the main integration runtimes is the one, which is the mandatory one, which we'll be discussing now. I'll talk about this one also. Data flow debugs means the data flows also be created. This is also one of the objectives. I'm talking in the monitoring. In the managing part, what comes exactly is we will be setting up the infrastructure here. The infrastructure in the sense, see, we are here like we want to connect to the source as ADLS Gen 2. That's our source system, and that's in the file format. We need to have one linked service there. To create a linked service, we'll use this linked service. Linked service means it goes to that source system. See the symbol only it reflects. Imagine this box as a Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. And this linking is, it says, hey, with this help of, it acts like an agent. Okay. It goes to that connection and creates the connection and it connects to that source system now. So first of all, we'll create one linked service so that you will understand what I'm talking. Okay. So to create a linked service, what we need to do is, see, I'll tell you our requirement now. Let's just go to the paint. Okay. For the requirement today is, what we will achieve for today's, for next 30 minutes is, your data is in the file format in the ADLS Gen 2 now. ADLS Gen 2 and This is the storage account, and you have a file, the emp.csv. You have a file in this location. Okay. This is the Azure, right? This is the Azure service, right? Okay. Now my requirement is I want to load this file to the Azure SQL DB. Imagine this is a DB. This is the Azure SQL DB. And I want to load it to the EMP table. The table name is EMP. Okay. So for this one, if I want to do this, if I want to do the automation, so first of all, I need to create a pipeline, right, for this. Okay. To create a pipeline, I need to use the ADF right here. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So first in the ADF, with the help of the ADF, we will be doing this transformation. This one, what it is, this is extracting the data right here. This is nothing but we are extracting the data, right? Extracting. And here we'll do the transformations or loadings. You can call it as transformations. Okay. And what we are doing here, we are loading the data. That's a ETL, right? Right. The overall, that's what the EDF does, right? ETL or ELT, depends on the requirement. ETL, we are doing the ETL with the help of the ADF data cloud integration tool, like the ETL tool we are doing, right? So this is the original requirement for us, which we want to achieve using the ADF by creating a pipeline. Now, what I'll do is, first of all, it should communicate to this Azure Data Lake, right? Sorry, Azure Data Lake Gen 2, right? Storage account, right? So how does the ADF communicate? There should be some link, right? There should be some chain link, right? To communicate that one. You're getting right. This acts like an agent. So you don't know someone and you want to talk to that other guy. So see, actually, I don't know who is Prabhu. So who introduced Prabhu to me? Viresh introduced Prabhu to me, right? You're getting right. You are a link. You act like an agent in between myself and Prabhu. Are you getting
Yeah.
Viresh?
Yes.
So here, if I want to talk to the Azure Data Lake Gen 2, I need to create a linked service for this. Okay. I'll name this linked service as ADLS Gen 2. See, it will not accept hyphen Gen 2 underscore LS. LS in the sense linked service. And say there are three types of integration runtimes. I'll discuss later, but this is the default integration runtime. See, auto resolve integration runtime is a default one. I'll talk about the theoretical part, but I want to explain you this. And after once I explain this and I talk the theoretical part, you can connect it very easy. See, there are three types of linked services here. So by default, Azure is the linked service. Self-hosted, we just need to install one application, and this is the third one. So mainly we're using these two integrations. This integration, if the source and target both are in the Azure service only. Understanding?
Okay. Yeah.
If suppose self-hosted integration runtimes comes into the picture, say suppose my source system is Oracle DB. So Oracle is not the part of Microsoft SQL, right? So in that way, if you want to connect to the Oracle DB, we'll be using this as self-hosted runtime. Okay, but as of now, for the basic practice for the first day, right, we'll just go with the Azure one. So this is by default, it comes the auto resolve integration runtime. This is the by default one which will take, and this is the account key. Authentication type will be by default account key. There are multiple authentication. By default, we'll choose this auto account key here. And the account selection method means the subscription which we are taking, which we have the free trial account, right? We'll choose this free trial account. And the storage account, this is mandatory. If you look at here, there is a star mark here. What is the storage account which we want to point? We want to point to Gen 2, right? See, if I just do this See, when I just do the Gen 2, you see loading key. Means there are the backend. It is authenticating. It is loading the key and it got authenticated. If you just look at this one here, see, loading key. It just disappeared, right? Means what it is trying to do is just trying to authenticate with this linked service. Okay. Why? Because we selected, shall I show it for the once again? Hello?
Not a question.
Not
Display.
required, right? You're good, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now I'm creating the linked service here. Okay. I've created the linked service. So this linked service, if I want to test the linked service, right, I can go here and test the connection. Means this linked service is active and it is able to connect to the Azure Data Lake Storage. Okay. Means here, what I've done is I have created a linked service here. First, ls. Okay. Linked service in the ADF, right? This is done. We are good now here. And after the linked service creation, what I need to do, I need to create a data set. Why I need to create a data set is I need to get the metadata of this file, right? The second step will be I'll be creating a data flow here, data set here. In the data set, what will be having the data set is you will be having the metadata of the file system. So here I'll select a new data set and my storage. Where is my storage? Where is my file in ADLS Gen 2, right? Storage account. This is the Gen 2. Here I have a file, right? Yesterday I placed the file. In which format my file is? You want to see that file here? See, this is the one,
Yes.
right? This is my storage account. If you look at here, and if I go to the containers, I have the container, and I've created one container content2, and in the test directory, I have one emp.csv file, right? I want to connect. I want to get the metadata of this file. Means I am trying to do the connection between the ADLS Gen 2 and the ADF using the data set. And which format the file is? Delimited text, means CSV format, right? If you look at here, what is the format here?
.csv.
CSV.
So that's the reason I'm going here and I'm selecting the .csv, like delimited text. See, most of the cases, 90% of the cases, you will get only two formats. One is CSV and the Parquet. Parquet also very less, but we'll cover this all of them. Okay, like one file, we'll cover it in the later sessions. Now for the simple, like, see this Parquet, you will not be able to view the data actually. It will be in a decoded format, like it will be coded format. Okay, now I'm taking delimited text. Okay, I'll give the name as, see, now the file name is emp_dsrv. DS in the sense data set. Means this is the file name and this is the data set name. And here, if you look at here, you will see the linked service, which I've created, right? Okay. Once you create a linked service here and you see the path, it goes to that container path. Is that the same path? BI Cloud Container 2 and in the test directory. If you look at here, I'm going to the test directory and I'll pick up this file here. Okay. These things we need to do as part of the development. Okay, guys, these things we need to do as part of the development. So be careful. Maybe once you do it tomorrow, right? I want you maybe tomorrow evening when you get a time, you need to create all the services which we created yesterday and also create a mapping which create this pipeline for you. If you face any problems, let me know. I'll help you out. But you need to practice it from your end. Okay. So what I've done is I've just given you the path here and also the directory. This is the container name and this is the directory name and this is the file name. Okay. And import the connection. We'll use this first row as a header, means the first row is always the header, right? Just a second, guys. I'll just click on OK. Okay. So this is the data set. See, if you look at here, emp_ds, we have created one data set here. And if you want to look at the data set, this is the data set name. This is general. We have some descriptive information. See, this is the connection details. The linked service, what it got connected is ADLS Gen 2 linked service, right? Okay. From where, which file path it got it from the container to, 1 second. Okay. Now the compression type is not required. See, the point is the only mandatory these two are there, but these are optional. Okay. The compression type like is gzip. These are different types of compression type. You might be knowing zip, gzip, gunzip. This is the mostly used format .gzip. Okay. Column delimited. Column delimited is by default it is comma. In our case also it's comma. Means the encoding format, code character. These are the optionals, which is not mandatory. And if you look at this schema here, I've just gone through the connection. And if you look at the schema is nothing but the metadata. See, in this file, we have all these column names, right? Is it correct?
So some
Or-
metadata means just the column names and their data type, right?
Yes, yes. Metadata is data about data. That's right. Metadata, we can
Okay.
call it as metadata schema also.
Okay.
Okay. In the year, they call it as a schema. We call it as metadata or also schema. The parameters are this is like a variables. We'll create this later part. Okay. Just we'll understand the basic how to load a CSV file from the ADLS Gen 2 to the SQL DB. That's a plan for today. Okay. So
Sure.
now I just do the test connection. So this connection is also up and it is able to connect via the linked service. It is able to connect to the storage account. That's what it done here in the connection successful. Okay. When this is done, you see there is a publish button. See, validate means you can validate. You can see if there are any errors found. Means we are validating the code here. Your factory has validated, no errors found. You can close this. And after that, I'll publish all. Publish all is nothing but you're saving your changes here. Here in this case, we don't have any option called save button. We have an option called publish. Once you publish, those changes will be reflected. I'm trying to publish this one. Means see, deploying changes to the factory. Deployed one of one resources. Means these changes are deployed and published. Published completed. Okay. Means this is saved now. Now this is done. My first part is done. What I've done just now, I've just created I've just in the ADF, I've created a linked service for the Azure. Let me write it in the notepad. It's easy for you. Okay. First, I've gone through the linked service created for ADLS Gen 2 folder, right? That's a step one. Okay. Next step is step two. Create a data set for ADLS Gen 2 emp.csv file, right? That's a step we have done it. Now, what this we have done it, this is the source part, right? This is all the source part. In the same way, we need to do for the target part also, right? Okay. Our source is in the which format? File format. And this is in the ADLS Gen 2 Azure. Now, our target is in the which format? This is SQL DB. Database format, right? And this is the in the Azure SQL DB. Now, in the same way, what I've created the linked service for the ADLS Gen 2 to create a linked service for the SQL DB, right? Yesterday, we created the SQL DB, right? I'll go through here. See, in the home, we created
Yeah.
a SQL database, right? Yesterday, this is the database, right? Okay. And if I go to the query editor and I need to give my password here, let me just prompt the password there. I have the password here. It's BI Cloud, right? Okay. I'll just give the password, click on OK. And see, this is like every time my IP address changes, right? So you just need to allow it here. So it just updates and click on OK. You will face some issues while creating account. Let me know. We'll discuss that one. I'm not telling those issues right now. Why? Because I just want you to face those issues. After that, we'll resolve that. The IP address issues only, nothing more. See, these are the sample tables which I've created here. So leave this one. So first of all, we'll create a linked service here. And after that, we'll create a data set here. So now I'll go to the manage and I'll create a new linked service, right? Am I correct? I need to create a linked service for the SQL DB, right? Here
Yeah.
I'll go Azure. Where is my Azure SQL DB? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, the integration runtime was also by default, it comes as a auto resolve integration runtime. And the subscription I'll be checking as free trial subscription. Here I need to give the server name. See, by default, it's prompting me BI Cloud Server. You remember yesterday we created this, right? BI Cloud Server DB.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, it is prompting there. The database I'll be taking as BI Cloud DB. The authentication method is SQL authentication method. Means with the username and password, we are able to connect, right? See, this is the Azure Key Vault I was talking. See, Azure Key Vault we'll discuss while talking about the project. This is the private, like the security kind. Now we are doing for the practice purpose, we are doing it we are prompting the username and password, right? But in the real time, while in the project, you will not prompt the username and password here. In the Azure Key Vault, we will be securing the username and password. Once the username will be visible, but the password will be in the encrypted format. Okay. Now, as of now, we'll just go for a basic authentication method. Here, I'll take the username. Okay. And I'll take the password here. Okay. Always encrypted. Can make this will see the option. And now what I'm doing is I'm creating the, see, sorry, I've just not done it here, right? I do DB. I'll make it as underscore LS. Means Azure SQL Database LS linked service here. This is the name which I'm giving. And I'm trying to create the Azure database. And now I want to see is this service is connected, means is the connection is established correctly or not, right? So here I'll do the test connection. See, the connection got successfully, means this linked service is able to now communicate to the Azure database. See, yesterday we enabled some public endpoints. Do you remember, guys? Hello. Yesterday we enabled some of the public endpoints, right? While
No.
creating the account, we enabled some of the public endpoints. So that's the reason. Because this ADF also a different service, right? From the ADF, we are trying to access the SQL Server DB, right? We are enable the public endpoints, right here.
Yes, yes.
So that's what we are not getting any errors here. If you make it as private, right? Here while connecting the ADF, we'll face an issue. It will not allow to connect. Okay. Now I've
Yeah.
just created.
It should be discussed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now I have my linked service code created. One is for the, see the symbol also, see the symbol guys here. That linked service symbol here. This is the service format in the storage, right? And this is the database. See the linked service and the symbols also. You can identify which one it is. And if you just go here, sorry. Okay. And I'll just try to refresh. So the same way now we created a linked service for the, where is this? Let me start it, right. Okay. Now in the same way, this is step 3. And I've created a linked service for the Azure SQL DB, right? Right. And step 4, what we need to do here? Can you just tell me, help me with this?
Create
For
a
the-
data set.
Yes, we will be creating a data set. Instead of table, instead of file, we'll be doing it for the EMP table. This is in the, if you start practicing this, guys, we'll go more complex, but I just want to give you a very simple this today so that I don't want to make you panic on the first day. Okay. Where you created the linked service in the manage folder, you created the linked service. Okay. Now, if you want to create the data set, right, where you need to do, can you able to help me where you need to do? In the author. This all comes under the development. This all, see, mostly 90% we'll use these two only, author and manage. Author, these two components only, objects only we'll use. See, manage is nothing but, see the symbol only it will be, see, settings. What the author is writing, right? Means he is doing the development activities. Monitor is just, you see the meter symbol here. Mostly our job will be author and manage only. In the manage, you will be creating the infrastructure setup. In the author, you will be doing the development activities. Okay. So now I've created a data set for the EMP. Now I'll go to the new and create a new data set. And here, which technology I need to choose here? Help me out. SQL database, right? Our target is SQL database. See, by default, it prompts you this one. It is not prompting you the other one. It is not prompting you the, we created two linked services, right? Why it is not prompting you the storage one? But the technology which we have selected, the service which we have selected is this one, right? Related to. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now the data set name is Azure SQL EMPDB. The table name also you can get it. Okay. One thing, okay. Here, I've not created the table. I've just missed it this one. So we'll create a table. Leave all the tables here. I've just got one script to create a table. Let me take the script here. Okay, this is the EMP table script. I'll give you the script. You want me to explain this script on a high level? This is just like the EMP table script. Demo 1, I'll make it as. Okay, 1 second. Let me see this. Okay. See, now what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a just a dummy table here, just without any data. I'm just creating a metadata. I'm just creating a structure of the table in the target. You need to point it right. In the real time also, you will be creating a table on a real time basis while creating a mapping. In the target side, you will be creating a table. Once you create a table, with the help of the pipeline, you will do the, you will load the data into this EMP demo table. On the real time basis also, this is how it happens. You will be creating a table manually. Okay.
Okay.
If there are like hundreds of tables, there is the automation way. I'll discuss in the project then. Okay. But this is how on a, if it is 1 or 2 tables in the real time, I also create the tables on a real time basis. Like if it is 2 or 3 tables, I'll go here and this table structure will be given by the business. See, we'll be having existing tables and based on that, what is the business requirement, you will get the column names and the data types also. So now I'm creating one. See, this I'm doing it in the SQL Azure database, SQL database that's in the cloud, in the query editor. I'm just doing it. Okay, this IP address is not allowed listed. Let me just give this 1 second. This is the option which we'll do 1 second. So that's a challenge I was telling. See, what happens is this is trying to communicate to the server and with this IP, and this is not allowed. To enable this, access, use the Azure management portal or run this one. What happens is for the security reasons, these IPs will not be allowed. So once we set it right, it will not ask you for the other time. So this is the client IP which I am having. I will be setting up in the Azure management portal. I'll go to the demo home. And I'll go to the servers here in the server. I have this activity log of just see networking. See here in the networking app here, query editor. If I want to do, see this is the range it has. I'm using these two. This is the query editor in the sense this is the one. Okay. This client IP is connected to the ADF, the first one. This is, I think the below one is not required. These are all the ones which has previously. So now I'm saving this. This is one-time activity, nothing to worry. Okay. Now when I try to do this, should allow me. Okay. Now I'm able to create one demo one table here, right? If I want to do a select start from. See the result if you see. You have only the metadata here. EMP number, ename. See, this metadata should be equal to the same sequence of the file format. Remember, guys. And also the data types also. It should be EMP, ename, job. Okay. Now in the target side, I've created a table, right? I want to configure this table. Like I want to create that metadata like here, this one here. If I do a refresh and it gets loaded here. See, demo one. This is the one which I've created, right? Just now. Is the same one, guys? This one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm just setting up. I'm just creating a data set. Okay. Now I created a data set. See, this is how it reflects here in the pane. And this is the linked service it's got connected. And if I test the connection also, it is successful. And this is the table name. And if I want to preview the data, you can preview the data, but we don't have any data, right? You have only the columns here. Okay. Leave it here as it is. And you can see the schema also. The schema is all the metadata. And these are the parameters, these are the variables, and this is the connection. This connection and schema, you just need to validate. And once you create a data set, right, we will be publishing this data set here. Okay. Now we are good, right? We have set up the infrastructure right now. We've created the source linked service and the source data set and also the target linked service and the target data set, right? What will be our next step? Our next step will be we need to create a pipeline. Is it right?
Right. To dump the data.
Yes, perfect. See, these data sets, we have two of them. See, this is the Azure SQL EMP, this is the table, and this is the EMP, this is the storage format. Now, what I'll do is I'll go to the pipelines, I'll click on these three dots, create a new pipeline. My pipeline name, I'll make it as PL underscore. PL is nothing but pipeline. Copy data from ADLS to SQL DB. This is my requirement, right? This is the source and this is the target, right? This is the format I'm giving. I can give you one more here, ADLS EMP to SQLDB EMP. If you don't understand, I'll just make this here. Okay, we are good. You just give the name here. I'll talk about these activities. See, these are the activities. These are the activities means these are the tasks which we do. Means these are all the objects which we have. See, look at here in the move and transform, we'll be using this copy data activity here. And this data flow activity, maybe after 2 or 3 sessions, we'll use this. And this synapses, this is the Spark ones. Okay, we'll not be covering much more here. And Azure Data Explorer also will not be covering. Azure Functions will be covering. This one will be covering. And batch services will be covering this. And this is the Databricks. Yesterday I was talking about the Databricks. This is also part of this. These are the objects which is compatible for this one. And data like analytics, this is not required. And journal here, the mandate. These are all the ones we'll be covering everything here. Means these are all the ones which will be using on a project purpose. See the above ones, see in a project, see any tool, right? You will not use all the components 100% in that tool. You will be using around 60 to 70%. Any tool, not about this ADF or any other tool. You will not be using all the 100% features. You will be using around 60% of the features. Those features will be given so that there are like different requirements of the project. Based on the requirement, they will customize that code. So that's the reason they will do. But 90% of the cases, these all will come. In this one, get metadata, append, delete, execute pipeline, stored procedure scripts. These will be covering as part of the course. And also the iterations. HD insights is not mandatory. This will be covering the filter for each if condition and everything. Okay. And they had, this is for the big data. Okay. This will cover some of the basics. Mandatory, what is required for the project is this iterations and the general purpose. These are all the components which will cover one by one. Per day, we'll take 3 of the objects. We'll cover it from here. Now, just leave everything here and I'll just make. Hello. Now I'm interested only this copy data here. Means why I'm interested in the copy data is I want to copy the data from ADLS Gen 2 to the SQL data. That's my requirement, right? So I'll give the name as copy data demo. Okay. In the source, this is the source, right? What is our source? What is
Gen
our
2.
ADLS Gen 2, right? That's a file, right? See, what is the source data set here? One to select top one or bottom one?
Top one.
Might be one.
Top.
Because it's asking the source, right? So we will be giving SQL EMP only, not the data set file.
Right? See, these two are the data sets. Okay. See, these two are the data sets. I've just told you just 5 minutes back. This is the symbol means this is the SQL database EMP table, right? This is the file, right? If you see the symbol here, you just know this one.
Yes, sir.
Means our source is file right now, our case.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See here, where is this print? Where is the print? Here is the print, right? Ours is the CSV file, right? This is the file, right? We are loading the data from CSV file to the EMP table, right? Means here in the source, it should be source means it should be EMP data set, right? File, it should be selected right here. You're getting right, guys. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. There is no problem here. See,
No, we got confused with the naming.
yeah, that's what. See, the naming only we have to write. See, first of all, you need to understand the requirement. So once not in this case, I'm telling you in a journal, once you understand the flow, right, and this development will be very easy for you. That's the reason I've just gave you the high level demo here. Means our requirement is we want to load the data from the EMP, means CSV file to the table, Azure SQL table. That's from the ADLS Gen 2. EMP CSV file to the EMP table in the Azure SQL. Means file to the table. That's our requirement, right? In this case, here the source data set will be, this is the source, right? Here source data set will be DS, right? Okay, fine. And after that, sync.
Yeah.
If you go to the sync is nothing but the target. Sync and target both are same guys. Okay. Now what we need to select here in the sync is target.
Azure SQL.
SQL EMP.
Top one.
Okay. Why we are selecting this is we are loading the data into the target table, right? Table. So this is the mandatory one, and right behavior is we are inserting the data. Okay. This is the bulk insert. No, we are not doing. And this is the table options and the prescripts. These are not mandatory options. Okay. And the mapping also there is no mandatory, and setting also no mandatory, and the user properties. Okay. These are all not mandatory. We'll just go deep each and everything, each and every option deep down. Okay. Next sessions later. Okay. Next 1 or 2 days every day. Once you understand basics, so that we'll go to the other options. So sync, and source and sink are ready. Means we have set up, we have just created a pipeline right now in this case. Okay, this is our copy data. Now what I need to do, I need to validate it first.
Okay.
Yes, I need to see, is there any errors in this code. After that, validating copy time. I'm just validating this complete to. Okay, there are no errors found. Instead of run button, same like here, we have, see, this is the play button and the execute button. Debug is equivalent to execute or run. If I debug this one, I'll first show you, do we have any data in this EMP table now?
No.
Okay. See the results. I don't have any data, right? Leave it now. I will go to this one. Debug is execute the pipeline, right? I'm trying to execute the pipeline now. So before executing it, I need to publish it. Is it correct? I need to publish these changes, right?
Yes.
So this is the pipeline name. We need to publish this. I'm debugging this pipeline, okay? See, if you look at down here, this is executing, this is queued up. If I try to refresh, see, this is getting executed in progress. In progress, this is the name. It got succeeded. And if I want to see here, see, this is the details. If I look at here, see this one, this is what it happened. What it does, see the symbols. With the symbols only we can able to analyze. From the ADLS Gen 2, we loaded the data into the SQL database. So the region name and everything, it got detailed, it got clear. And the read data is, the file data size is 275 GB. Number of records, 5. See, data written, this it got changed to 660 bytes and number of written 5. Is it correct? These are all the detailed information. I'll just go close it here and I'll see it in the target table. So this is my EMP demo target table, right? I'm able to see the records here.
Yes.
Are we good here? And this is, see this one, if you look at here, yeah, see this is the request. This is the Spark code actually. Okay. What it does is, this is the source and this is the delimited text file. And the sink name, it is going to the sink here. What it is behaving, sink behavior. Okay. This is the input. And if I look at this output here, and I'll just make a note here. See, data read is 275 bytes and return is 660, right? We just now saw it. Output, this is the output it happened. And number of rows, 5. Rows copied 5. See, and this Azure IR is the integration runtime engine. Azure's one by default. This is the integration runtime name. Activity type, data moment. Just to understand, okay? This is the data moment. So now we've created a sample.
Got one doubt.
Yes.
Before that it was 275 bytes, right? So after it is written, it is got to 660 bytes, right? It is greater
Yes.
than the existing one. So it doesn't matter, right?
No, it doesn't matter. See, here you have, see how it is the format here. How is the file format?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. See, I've just told you just 10 minutes back, storage is very, very cheaper in Azure. Nothing to worry. Don't worry about the storage. Okay. Storage, I've just told you, I've just showed you one PPT, right? Here, where is the PPT? Let's go here, I think. See, you can see this PPT, right?
Yes.
See, the first 50 terabytes TB. For the premium only, they are charging 15 paisa per GB. 15.15 per GB. That's for per month. Just calculate it, guys. See, 50 GB. How much is 50 GB? We just discussed, right? I'll tell you. I'll just tell you one simple. 1 GB is equal to 1 TB is equal to 1000 GB, right? 50 into 1000. 50,000 GB, right? 50,000 GB
50,000 MB.
into 0.5
Yeah.
15. This is in the dollars, right? And this is per month. This is very cheap, guys. So nothing to worry about that one. It is a very, very minimal for the, and this is in the bytes only. Okay. For accessing only, for computing only, you will get more charge in the Azure.
Okay, Mahendra. Thank you.
Okay. So this is how it is. So what I request is, if you are free tomorrow, guys, we'll connect. Just let me know, just for 30 minutes, or we'll just connect, and what we'll do is we'll create a Azure portal account for you. We'll just a working session. I'll not give you any class tomorrow. Just I want you guys, if you are free, let me know. We'll connect and create a Azure portal account with the help of the credit card. Once you created it, right, you can go through the recording yesterday's and today's. Yesterday recording, what I request you is, I want you to create all these services here.
Okay.
Resource group, sorry, this BI cloud resource group, and after that server demo, storage too, everything I request you to create all of them. And if time permits, complete the mapping. If you want, I'll give you the script for the create table here.
Okay.
And I will also give
Because
you
the
the,
script, if for time permits, we will try.
and also I'll give you the file, that EMP file is there, right, for you. See, this is a script, just copy it in your notepad somewhere, and I'll give you that EMP file. We saw that EMP file, right? I'll give you it in the WhatsApp, that EMP file, okay? Let's see. I'll just give you that EMP file in the WhatsApp, so that you need to place that EMP.2 file in the ADLS Gen 2 location, which we created. Okay? I'll give you both there in the, I'll stop sharing. I'll just give it right away. Okay, I've just give this EMP file, and also, sorry, table script, and I'm giving you the ADF training updated files. I'll give you this EMP2 file. Okay, I just gave it to you guys.
Sure.
I'll stop recording. Any questions?
Yes, sir, I have a question. So
Yeah,
while we creating the services and the linked service or the table name, like account storage name for the ADLS or other thing, so we have given some name, right? So is there any standard to give that name? Because we are creating that in the real time as well, right? Or
Yeah, that's
just
what.
it needs to make sense?
No. That's the reason I gave you the standard name right here. If you look at here, I gave you the standard names here, right? See, if I go to the manage, and if I see this ADLS Gen 2, this ADLS Gen 2 is the source name, like the store name LS. LS is the linked service. It should end with LS.
Mhm.
That's the reason I gave you in the standard
Okay.
name also. If you're talking about the data set also, I gave you underscore TS. Here it should be underscore TS also. You can rename this
Okay. Okay.
TS.
Sure.
Okay. And you can upload
Right.
this, publish the changes. See. Okay, guys. Any other
Yeah,
questions?
fine.
Kishore, are you okay?
Okay.
You're good, right?
Okay,
We,
sir.
Prabhu also, you're
Yeah.
okay, right? If you just,
Yeah.
what I
Okay, sir.
request you is, if you go to the Azure portal also, you can just log in, like with the credit card details. Once you log in also, you can follow all the steps what you face. If you face any issues, just send me the screenshot in the WhatsApp. I'll just call you or I'll inform you.
One more thing. While creating it, if it is already used the credit card, because I have seen when I learned Microsoft and AWS cloud, it is it took already my credit card. Is it good now to create the other one?
I didn't get you. I didn't get you.
While creating this account, Azure account, portal account, my
Uh-huh.
credit card already executed it. So it already took. I have already used that credit card. Is it good to go, or we need to create one more one?
No, have you got an account? Like, have you got a free trial account now?
By using the existing one, I have
No,
only
that's
one
okay.
credit card.
No. You got an account right now. You got a Azure portal account got created. Let me stop recording.
Yes.
No,